All right. So my name is Swarna Tama Ganguly. I have a brief presentation so that we can start. I hope everybody can able to hear me. If there is a disturbance, please stop me, and then maybe I can able to hear you, and we can stop and we can start. Right. So this is a initiative from Mr. Giovanni. So Mr. Giovanni is a very good friend and partner. So we understood that the world is changing, right? Everybody talks about data. Everybody talks about data analytics. So Mr. Giovanni have requested that today we should be doing something related to Power BI. And when we talk Power BI, the first thing comes to our mind is DAX, right? Data analysis expression. So we'll start with a brief about DAX. Before than that, a small introduction about myself. As I mentioned, that my name is Swarna. So I run a consulting called KPI Consulting. I am based out of India, Bangalore. I hope you can able to relate with my pronunciation. If you are having any difficulty, please stop me. So I am a Power BI trainer and consultant. I am a Power BI certified consultant. I have about 16, 17 plus years of experience into competency development, solving complex L&D solutions. Also in the areas of Middle East market, in the areas of US and the other regions of the globe. So I'm very far from your location. We got connected since we are having a common. Giovanni and me have a common understanding of or the love for geography. My favorite subject is geography. I love geography, the map, the plots. We'll talk about in coming some time. That's how we got connected, right? During the COVID time, you are in Suriname, right? And during the COVID time, we got connected, me and Giovanni, and then we started, analyzing that how we can build a kind of a good competency development framework for both Suriname and in other region. So that's how we got connected. This is a small brief about me. Now, coming to today's agenda, I would love to hear from all of you. Since I respect your time, it's a 60 minutes session. It's kind of a quick marathon I would be running, completing a lot of things in this particular time. But I will promise that end of this session there will be a lot of takeaways. Even if we could not able to complete the entire thing, it doesn't matter. The what matters is kind of takeaway after the 60 minutes. At least you can say, hey, I have learned something or I have done something. And this session is a kind of 60 minutes is useful. So before I start, I would like to have a quick understanding from you guys. If you can give a brief about yourself. I see there are Miss Ruchika, Gimbal, Matil, yeah, Matil. Oh, there are a lot of have joined. All right. So I will not ask you to give an introduction because of less time. Maybe you just give a raise hand that all of you are from Power BI background. Any one of you, or how many of you are Power BI background? If you can open your mic and unmute yourself and say. Any one of you have worked on Power BI? Come on. You can unmute
Hi,
yourself. It's okay.
hi,
Yeah,
Shwarna.
hi.
Thank you
Yes.
first for the introduction. To everyone else, maybe it would be easier if you could comment in the chat box if you're experienced, well experienced, or if you're new or learning.
Yeah, I
Please
correct.
drop in the chat box, and then we can take it from there.
Oh. Oh, and yeah, actually hanap ko na ako balik ako ningas.
I
Yeah, kanila po.
and I request everyone,
Kasi gusto ko
please
mag-proceed.
mute your mic if you're not talking. Yeah, that's fine. No experience in Power BI, that's fine.
Adi ako
Absolutely fine.
sa kanya.
Yeah, practically new to Power BI. That's fine. That's fine. Because why I'm asking you is if you are very new to Power BI or understanding Power BI, it's fine. But already you are working on Power BI, then you might feel that this experience, this session is not useful for you. That's why I'm asking. New to Power BI, absolutely fine. Thumbs up. All are new to Power BI. It's fine. No experience is fine. Superb, superb, great, great. Thank you, everyone. So, no
Some people
experience.
have
All
their
right.
mic open and it's very disturbing.
Yes. I would request everyone, please mute your mic if you're not talking to me. All right. So please mute your mic. I request everyone. Okay. All right. So as I have understood that most of you are from non-Power BI background. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. So I'm just sharing my screen again and then try to explain a bit, and then obviously we will be. Meanwhile, I'll share a file as well, right? So it's a ready-made file. I hope you have installed Power BI in your system. How many of you have installed Power BI in your system? Please, you can raise hand or you can give a thumbs up. All right, super. Okay, I see only one hand. How about others? No, it's not advanced. It's all basic. Today we would be starting very basic, but I have shared a file because of this time crunch. Yeah, please, Gamble. Okay, Gamble already. Okay, you have not installed Power BI yet. No problem. So the easiest part to install Power BI is you can go to Google and ask for Power BI download, Power BI desktop download, and you can download this way. This is one way. Okay, this is one way you can follow the process, and simple way you can download, right? So I'll share the link to the chat box, and those of you, yeah, you can follow this process. And other way also, you can if you are using Windows, then Microsoft, you go there and go to Play Store, right? Microsoft Store, and there you ask for Power BI desktop. This is more suitable way, I feel, because Power BI is a evolving tool, right? Every day it's getting changed, a lot of updates are coming up, and this way you will get to know lot many things, right? So Power BI desktop, if you can see this application, and you can, here for you it will be asking for download, so you have to click download and you can follow the process, right? Thumbs up, quick thumbs up. All good? Shall I start? Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, super. Okay. Mr. 𝐃𝐀𝐗, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and please ask. Okay. Don't hesitate. Please ask. All right. Okay, great. So again, coming back to my small presentation. So what is DAX, right? So we have been talking about what is DAX and Power BI and so on. So it is called data analysis expression. Please be mindful. I'll be asking you questions, right? Okay. So what is DAX? DAX is a data analysis expression, right? It's a kind of syntax. I would not say it's a formula. It's expression, right? It's expression. So we use it more on largely in the DAX, in the Power BI, in Excel, in Power Pivot, and so on. Okay, now there are two kind of DAX, as I mentioned. That is, one is implicit DAX and one is the explicit DAX. We'll get to see what is implicit, what is explicit, and also there are two ways you can usage of DAX. That is, one is the calculated column, how you calculate a column, the columnar wise, and the other one is the measure, right? So measure is only one value, right? So what are the sum, count, all are coming into a measure, and calculated are, as you can see, it's a columnar value, right? So without wasting much of time, let's go to the hands-on, right? So if you can see, I have shared you a kind of file. If you open and you can see this view, how many of you have reached to this view? Can you tell me? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. All right. Nageshwar is saying yes. How many of you have reached to this? Okay. Yeah, I see a lot of thumbs up are coming. Yes. Okay. All right. Great. So what I do is I'll do the first hands-on, and then maybe you can stop me. And then, as I mentioned, we have to cover quite a few. As you can see, today's agenda, it's pretty lot of things we have to cover. But again, most important thing is how much we cover doesn't matter. The value, right? It matters the most. So also, I'll take you up on this particular slide before we start. As you have seen, Power BI is a kind of data visualization tool, right? So how we start? We start with a get data, right? We start with the information, get data started. We call it as ETL tool, extraction, transformation, and cleaning, right? So it goes for a loading. This goes for a continuous process. So first we'll go get into the Power BI Power Query. So get data. From here we get data. Here we upload Excel. Here we upload CSV file. If you have data from maybe from the cloud or data flows or SQL, you can collect it from here, right? So this is how you do it. But this setup, the PBIX file, which I have already sent to you, the data is, as you can see on the data pane, it is already placed, right? The data pane, if you see the data, the files, the tables are already placed. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll start working on the DAX, right? So before I start, I'll go to the third. From here, if you can see, it's a report view. This is called canvas, right? This empty space is called canvas. Now, second is called table view. Here you can see all the tables, right? Some people may get to see the data view. Some may get to see as table view. So it doesn't matter. The second one is the table view. What happens if you click here? you can get to see the data, right? So the table wise. So for example, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tables are there, right? One is about customer. So as you can see, it is talking about customer, it's talking about customer key, talking about customer geography, geography key, customer title, so on and so forth. It's a continuously, you can see there are 18,000 plus rows are available. Second, if you go to fact returns, it is around 3,000 rows are there. So many rows are there. And also if you go to fact sales, it is 43,000, right? So I don't know why this gentleman is coming again and again to my system. All right, okay. So if you go to model view, and model view, you can see we'll be talking about more on the cardinality, more on the relationship, and so on. So already, if you have seen the data clearly, here already you have the connectors, right? All the connectors. If you can see, it is connected one to many, all the connectors are there. So what I have done is due to the crunch of time, I have already created the setup ready, right? If you have seen, it is connected. Let me make my screen a bit bigger. Is it visible, guys? Sorry, I'm not able to see your chat. Please give me thumbs up. All good? Okay. Super, super. I'm just switching off the camera due to the bandwidth. Sometimes it takes. Okay, but I'm available. I'll be there for rest of the session. So as you can hear me clearly, right? So here, this is the you can see this is your model view. This one we call it as model view, right? So model view, if you can see, this is the way you can fit to the page, but this is a little smaller, so I'm just making it a little bigger. As you can see, it is connected. So, for example, sales territory is connected with fact sales table on through this sales territory key, and here also it is you are having a key. So 1 second, let me make it bigger so that you can able to see it properly. Yeah, so if you can see, it is connected. When you can, this is a connector, right? You can see connector. When you click it here, you can able to see, okay, this is connected to this is connected to that. Every table is connected. Now few are there, as you know, that few are there for called as fact table, right? Fact table is the mother table, we call it. Some people, they call it as lookup table. So here there are two lookup tables. If you see it clearly, it is about sales territory, customer. So we have product, and we have something called fact sales and fact returns, right? So, but there is also another table, which is temperature table. As you can see, it is not connected. So we'll be going to do that in next couple of minutes. Now, without further, waste of anybody's time, let's get into this table called customers. As you can see, customers. Okay, let's go to table view. Table view, we have what? We have sales, fact sales, facts. All the keys are there. Now, if you wanted to create a table named full name, here you have a names, first name, second name, third name. But guys, have you wondered, all the tables are there, but there is missing of one particular thing, that is called date table. Without date, nothing can be possible, right? Because the sales, if you see sales, the fact table is all about historical data. The sales had happened, so everything is, it's a kind of record book. If you see, it's a kind of record book, but we do not have any date table. So we will be starting with a date table. So let's create a date table, right? So if you go to new table, once you click the new table, here you'll be asking for calendar date, right? If you put calendar date, now I have to put. Please remember, this is DAX. If you can see, this is called 𝐸, right? I'll just zoom it a bit so that you can able to see it. This is called 𝐸. Whatever you are planning to write, say for example, I have written add columns. Can you see automatically they are prompting you? Okay, what should you write? Next is what you write. In DAX, you have to use type and tab. You have a tab button in your laptop, in your keypad. You can see a tab button. What you have to do is type and tab, type and tab. You do not need to write the entire. For example, here I am putting add columns and I'm using tab. See, automatically it has taken, and it is asking for the next table, right? You're asking for the next table. So what we should do is the next part. So add tables, we'll do the calendar, and we'll be putting the date, right? So as you can see, date, it is asking for start date, right? So we have to put the start date. As I have seen, or you have seen in the data, this particular data set is from 2022, I believe. So let's take it 2022, and so we have to write the syntax this way: add columns, calendar, date. I'm talking about only for calendar table or date table, right? And then you have to close parenthesis, and then to put comma. And if you can see, the IntelliSense is saying that you have to put end date. Can you see top? It is end date. Okay, so let's close it. Let's put it end date, right? Whenever you put end date, you have to start again with the date. Okay, and then you have to close the year. So now year, it has to be the end of the year. I mean, the data set, if you see whatever the dates are available, it is starting from either from 2000 or from, and also it has the ending date, right? So in this data set, since we have already worked on it, so we know that this is from till this date. So we'll close it this way. Now put a comma, right? How many of you have done that? Give me a cheer, give me a thumbs up. Please open your mic and then give me a cheer. Superb, superb. Vikas, seriously, very good. Ruchika, superb. All right, superb. Okay, let's move on. All right, so once you have done this, then you have to put enter shift. Once you put enter shift, then you will be going to the column, the line number 2. In the line number 2, you have to use inverted comma, right? And then you put your year, right? Year, because here we are creating the date table, and in the date table we are creating different kind of columns, right? We are creating the column of year, we will be creating column of month, and so on. So how to create year column? So we have to put year, again tab, and as you can see, the date have been, we should not take this one, we have to take a third bracket. Once you put the third bracket, see, now the prompt of date has already come. What we have to do? Tab, that's all, comma. I hope my pronunciations are clear, though I have a bit Indian touch, but I feel you guys are following me. If not, please stop me, please stop me. Okay, all right, now we will be going to what? Now we'll be going to year is done. Let's go to month, right? Month, let's go to month number. Okay, so month number, all the same. Sorry, if you're finding any difficulty, please stop me. I know a little bit further here, but don't worry, once we create this calendar, I'll share you the syntax in the chat. Now month name, once you put the month name, as you can see, we have created month number. Now we have created month name, right? So month name, what we'll do is we'll put format. Even if you are not able to understand, please stick to this. I just need 60 minutes of your time. Once I at least close this particular syntax, I can guarantee you will take something away from this session. Okay, now whenever we are calling about a month name, right, we will be using the format called syntax called format, right? And here you have to mention in the exact format. So please remember, when we are taking in particular data analytics a domain, if you are using smaller m, it has to be like the smaller January, February, Jan, Feb, March, this way. If you take the full name, then it has to be 4 m's, then it will be like January, February, March, and full like this way. So we'll take it as 3, so it can be as Jan, Feb. Okay, then put comma, and again shift enter. Please remember, we will be doing this thing again and again. As I have mentioned, we have to use a lot of tab. Many of the things are like we have to use tab and type, right? So we'll be going to weekday, right? Once we're going to weekday, and here again the same thing, we have to use a function called weekday, and then the third bracket, you see, automatically the date has come. All right, so weekday, here we put this one. And also, whenever we are putting weekday, we have to remember the date of what exactly. Say for example, some of the countries, they follow weekday starting from Monday, but some of the countries, they follow weekday from Sunday. Especially in the Middle East countries, whenever we are working with the clients, their week starts from Sunday. So whenever we are working on those cases, data sets from Middle East market, or we're dealing with the data, then we have to deal with this kind of we have to start with one. But anyways, we will be starting our week from second is Monday, right? Again put tab, and then put comma, so, and followed by, we have to, oops, okay. Now we have to get into, guys, please give me a cheer. I'm feeling like I'm talking to myself. Just give me kind of, I'm not getting into the chat room, but again, please give me a cheer that you are with me. Okay, now weekday, right? Weekday, whenever we are saying weekday, now we have to put weekday. Okay, let's say we have to put weekday as a name, right? So let's put weekday as a name. So whenever we are putting weekday as a name, again we have to change our format. So change our syntax. It will be format date. Now again we will be putting it already to, right? We have been already mentioned about date name. It is already mentioned about it is Monday, starting from Monday. So what we do is here we will be putting as this name. Sorry, we have to close. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put it here again and create one more weekday and put it as week name, and then we'll put it as weekday, and let me finish it myself in other ways. Week name, right? Sorry, week name, we'll put it as DDD, right? So it is talking about which day we are here. Now here week type we put it. Okay, week type. So once we put the week type, what does that mean? Week type means basically what kind of week it is. So we have to mention whether it is a Saturday or Sunday, which day it is. Basically. So same way we have to use this formula, this syntax, and then put tab and then close and then okay. So now our week starts from Monday and it is closing on say for example Friday. So Monday to Friday 1 to 5. What if it is Saturday and Sunday? Those are weekends, right? But how to make in your calendar, how to make in your date calendar, specify it as weekdays or weekend, how to do that. So the syntax should be the same, but after that we will be saying that it is greater than equal to 6, right? 6 or 7 considered as weekend, right? So you can mention that this is weekend, otherwise 1 to 5 are weekdays, right? So this way we can calculate our syntax. Okay, so all right, now we'll go to the last one. Okay, this is very 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 important. So uh, we have to use our the last syntax. What is this? Date is equal to 6 and then we have to put it as weekend, right? Weekend or weekdays. To close the parenthesis, put comma and then go to the date, right? So the day will be starting from, okay, there is some syntax is wrong because once you put a wrong it will come as a red color mark, right? If you can see some syntax is wrong here, so we have to identify what is the syntax is wrong. I think we have used this here some mistake, but not to worry, we will try to solve it. Date, weekday. So weekday we have to mention it as if, as I mentioning. So if weekday is equals to, I mean, your weekday is if function, we have to get it, and then we have to use weekday, then date function. Okay, the date function, and then we have to mention it to, which is your Monday. Week starts from Monday, and then you have to mention if it is falling into greater than equals to 6, then it is weekend. All right, so otherwise it is weekday. All right, so we are good. Any questions? Last thing before I close, and then I will send you this entire syntax. The day, we also put it as a day. Okay, so the day is basically day, date. So this is a full-fledged date table is ready. If you can see, your date table is ready. Now I am just pasting it in the chat. Guys, all of you, are you there with me? Give me a cheer. And okay, all right, and you can copy and paste it in your DAX, in your PBI, Power BI interface. And now we got the date table. It's a full-fledged date table, right? Now it will be easy for us to connect, right? What to connect, how to connect. All right, as you can see, there is the fact sales, right? Fact sales is there. Now fact sales, we have to create fact sales date, right? Fact sale due date, no, due date is not the one. We have to check the order date something, because this data we have to remember, we have to use it something related to order date. We always remember whenever you order a, a kind of, see, order date is there, a kind of anything you order from Amazon or anywhere, right? So if you can see, the order date is considered as sales, and that is more given more important. So this is what we will be connecting. As you can see, this is called cardinality, where it is, many to one, one to many would be connected. And as you, it is connected, you just put save. It is a single filter. Now if you see, the connector is connected, right? The similar way here also, the fact returns, we will be connecting it. So let's do that. Let's do your fact date and the return date. What if they have returned, the customer, they didn't like the product and they are returning it? So this is very important. All right, now we have our date calendar is also ready. All right, now we can do that particular activity as I was mentioning it to you. Let's go to customer table. Okay, so let's go to customer table. Once we go to customer table, we can see that there are names, are first name, last name is there, but not the full name. So we'll create a new column here. As you have seen that we have created the first agenda, so which is already done, which is a full-fledged date calendar we have already created. Now we'll be getting into the second one, which is your full name, right? The full name of the customer. What we should do, full name of the customer, we have to get into the customer table, and here we have to write it down the first name. If you are not getting this thing, just write first name. If you write customer first name, you'll be getting the first name automatically. You don't have to do anything. Now here you can add ampersand. There's a and you call it in syntax DAX, we call it ampersand, and then inverted comma and keep a space, because if you do not keep a space, then it will be together, right? And then again put ampersand, and then you put your customer last name. Okay, the customer last name. If you put not the date, sorry, customer last name. Okay, here we go. And you don't want to put any parentheses, just put first name dot last name, right? So you got the first name, last name, the full name ready here. Okay, the full name is ready. Now you can see this table have the all the details of customer, full name, last name, something called gender, something they have children, total children, all the nitty-gritty details are mentioned here. In fact, they have also a thing called age, right? Customer age. Now what we'll do is we'll do a very important syntax here. Today, guys, we are talking about DAX. Okay, we are talking about DAX. We should learn the most important DAX that we use it, right? So let's create this particular age group, right? It is very much varied. Power BI doesn't like this kind of relationship. Power BI is looking for creating a group, right? We talk about group by, we talk about making as a group, right? So we will do one thing. We'll create a kind of bifurcation saying that below 25 can be young, below 50 can be mid, above 65 can be a senior, and so on and so forth. So how to do that? Let's go to new column, and here we'll be using very fantastic and most used, I would say most used DAX, which is called switch true. Okay, switch true is the function. Please remember, switch true is the function, and it is basically like that. Switch you put, and then you put true, automatically the parenthesis will be closed, and then you have to mention as you can see, our this IntelliSense is giving the expression, saying like you have to put expression, then you have to put value, and so on so forth. So what we'll do is we'll try to saying that customer age, we are trying to bifurcate into a different groups, right? So we'll make it as customer age is less than equal to 25. Then we have to put again inverted comma, then they would be considered as young. I'm so sorry, those who have already crossed 25, they are no more young, at least in this case. But this is just a group, right? We are creating it. Now we'll be creating one more bifurcation, saying like less than equals to 50. Okay, so we'll take a bigger bracket, right? So we'll not upset anyone. We'll put it as mid. Okay, and then we will be creating one more customer age, which is maybe lesser than equals to 65. Okay, so they are called senior. Okay, I'm sorry if anyone falls into this bracket. This is fine, absolutely. You are calling senior, which is due to great respect. You have seen the world more than us. And here, so we have got senior, we have got young, we have got mid. Who else is left? So what we'll put is, if there is anyone above this age, we'll call them as super senior. Okay, they are the highest this thing, super senior, and then we'll close the parenthesis. Put enter. All right, so we got the bifurcation. Young, mid, senior, super senior, all are there in this group. How many of you are understood this concept? Please give me a cheer. Super, great. All right, great. So this is, please remember, this is most used syntax. Not only one. If you create 10 different groups, you have to use this. Okay, you have to use this. Okay. Now moving forward, we already created something called this group. Now we'll go to the other table. Okay, let's get into the other table. Where will we can go? Shall we go to calendar date again? Okay, we have already created lot many things, lot many features. That's fine, but still we'll go to again. We'll see what else we can do. Let's get into calendar date table. Calendar table, ideally, I would say. And here, but not in the model, in the so in the second, which is table view. Now here we'll create a new column. Okay, we'll create a new column. What we'll do is we'll try to understand that we have all the formats ready, we have everything ready, but we do not have something called month year, right? It is very important, because I will be discussing in coming sometime, because whenever you're creating a visual, sometimes you create month, right? But you do not put year, so it is very confusing whether you're talking about that which particular month. Is it 2022 month January, or is it 2023? Which month, which January you're talking about? So this is why it is very important. So we'll do a smaller kind of DAX format, which is the basically your format syntax, and then we'll put the calendar date, right? So calendar date format, right? One second, let me get the calendar date where it is, or we'll put it as so we'll put it as month and year, right, together. We'll put it as month and year together. So how to create this month and year together? Basically, I'm talking about the syntax would be looking like this. Okay. Let me first put format and then put date. Okay, so here we are talking about date and the date, and then we're talking about the month and year. So you have to put month, as we have mentioned earlier already. You have to use that smaller aims, and you have to use or we have put this together only, no problem, because we are looking for month year together, right? And then you have to close. Let me see if it is working out or not. Okay, now here we have used one syntax called date.date. Let's see. How many of you got that? Give me a cheer. As you can see, January, February, March, all the syntax, all this format, we already got it. This is very important. January 2024. We are talking about January 2024. We're talking about April 2023, and again, all the syntax we have got it. Give me a cheer. How many of you got it? Another, a very interesting DAX called navigation, right? We have been doing it. We have been talking about. So as you have seen, we have already created date column. I have already shared. We have already created this, syntax, which is to switch to. Also, we have already formatted. Now we'll be getting into another interesting function called related functions. Okay, so let's get into the related function quickly. I know a lot of you are waiting for a lot of other features, but let's get into this particular related function. Now for the related function, it's a very important task. As you can see, uh, whenever you have seen this is a temperature table. Now this is the fact table. If you can see, in the temperature key is there, but here we do not have something called temperature key. All the keys are being connected. If you see customer key, product key, every keys are connected, but here temperature key is there, but we do not have anything on the fact sales table. So how should we do that? What we should do that? So let's get into the maybe let's get into the fact sales table. Okay, so here we will be creating it navigation function called navigation function with using related, right? So we'll create a new table, new column, and here we'll be using a temperature key. We have a temperature key there in as you can see in the temperature table, but we do not have any connectors. So how should we do that? So here quickly we'll put it related. Once you put related, now related what? We do not have anything in this particular key here. All are unique, right? All are unique. If you put temperature, it is not coming. So what way we can connect to this particular? So but we have something called sales territory, right? If you have sales territory, then maybe we can use it sales territory region. So once we put sales territory region, we'll close the parenthesis, and if you can see, we have something called southwest, northwest, and so on, so forth, right? Once we have that, we are getting connected. We are closer to that. If you observe closely, if you put a DAX query, and there, if you try to look out for evaluate, 1 second. So this is the DAX query. If you have seen, evaluate sales, fact sales, right? Sorry, we'll be putting it as territory, right? So temperature, and then you have to put run. Once you do the run, you can able to see we have something called temperature. We have something called January, but temperature key we need to be get connected, right? So temperature key, as you have seen, that we have this northeast. I mean, basically it's a region, and then the month 1 to 12 is the month, right? So we're in the right direction. We have to create another follow-up with the and percent, and then again we'll be putting related. Now here we will be asking for date column, whichever we have created, something called month name or month number, sorry, month number. Let's see. Yeah, so as you can see, it is now connected. Now what we have to do is we have to go to again model view, and here we have to connect. So we have a temperature key now, and this temperature key is connected with the other temperature. All right, so we get connected. Here is the connector. As you can see, it is now one-to-many relationship, and now we are very much well connected. Great. Now quickly we wanted to do get into sales territory column. As you can see in the sales territory column, we are having a lot of information. Yeah, so if you are having, we are having a lot of information related to month. We have something called the key, we have something called northeast. Now we would need to create few more columns here. Now let's understand, create a new column, and here let's understand syntax called regional sales. Okay, we'll do a regional sales, right? We'll do a regional sales, and this is the way we have to do it. Sum x, right? Why we are using sum x? This is also one of the most used DAX. It is basically an expression which is going to perform an expression going every rows. I mean, it will go to every rows and then it will return to a value, right? So the syntax should be related to that, sum x and then related table. Here we are not directly connected with the fact sales, right? Through fact sales we can get the regional sales. That's why we have to use related table. This is very, very important. We have to create a related table and then we have to create fact sales, and then fact sales once we reach, then the expression. As you have seen that we have reached the fact sales table and the expression is talking about sales amount, right? So sales amount, we have to create sales amount. Yeah, as you can see, sales amount. With this we can get the regional sales, right? All of you are following me till now? If yes, then we will be doing one more small another column, which is now regional sales volume. Okay, we are talking about the volume, right? We are here making a kind of again another switch to a function already we have used earlier. Again we are using switch to. This is we will be using in many times. Switch to regional sales is, again we will be mentioning that greater than equals to 3 million, right? So we already have one United States which is more than 3 million, so let's put it 3 million. Then we'll put it as say like high. Okay, and then we'll put regional sales. Regional sales greater than equals to say like 1 million, right? 1 million, then it will be considered as mid, and if other than that it will be considered as low. Okay, let's see what data we get. So already we get the data of low, medium, high, and so this way we can do it. Now quickly we'll start working on our measures. Before we start getting into a measure, please note we want our measures to be tightly kept in one particular place called measure, a new table. We have to go to enter data and we will be placing it. Many of you can do it like the way also the normal way, start working on total. But this way, if you park it, you can make your the semantic model. This is called semantic model, more okay, the more visible and more clean, right? You wanted to make it tidy, right? So now you got your measure table here. Now you can start working on your measures, right? We have done a lot of data modeling part and we have done a lot of that. Now first measure called total sales. How to calculate total sales? Sum of fact sales, right? Sum of fact sales. Now here also we are getting so many sales. We have to use amount, right? Sales amount, fact sales amount. Where is it? Fact sales, or we'll put it as amount. Let's see. Yeah, if you can see fact sales amount, we getting it. Put enter. We'll take a small card visual, and if you can take, and then you have to put it here, place it here. As you can see, it is 18 point. Please remember we have to put it in currency format. So once you put currency format, it will be like 18.0. All of you get this value? Please give me a thumbs up. I was sharing my screen, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Now quickly we'll do another few measures. Copy paste. Control C, Control V. We will create total. Already we got total sales. Let's create total cost. We have something called cost, product cost. Sum of the product cost, right? Where is the cost? Something cost we should be showing. Cost. Product standard cost, right? So many costs are there. We have to be mindful which cost we are talking about. Here we got the total cost. Please, you can change the value, and also be a little careful on the later slide. So smaller data was, now it is fine. Here we'll put it. Now total cost is this one. How to get total profit? How to get total profit? Anyone? So total profit. How to get total profit? Total profit is total sales minus. You can unmute your mic and you can say it's okay. And total cost. So this will get you kind of So this one you will get what value? You will get total profit. Similar way, how to create total transactions. Total transactions. How to create total transactions? We have to use a syntax called distinct count, right? Whenever we use it, distinct count and then the order number, something, a number, right? We have total transaction is this. It may vary the total transactions, but we'll get something like this. I think 2948. So once we get all the this visuals, you said these are the card visual. You can use also the new visual called card new, where you keep placing all the in one shot, right? Even you don't have to create it separately. In one go you can get it all the visuals. Now can we create quickly one simple measure called profit percentage? Let's create profit percentage. Now how to create profit percentage? Can anyone tell me how to create profit percentage? We have to use a simple syntax called divide and then the total profit. Well, you already created total profit. We're just using the same measures and then total sales. Once we do that, total sales, total profit, we will be getting it, and this has to be in percentage format. %41.23%, right? So this is the profit. Not bad. Generally, all the businesses they are having 30 and above are considered a good percentage. All of you, have you received this till this level? How many of you are having any clarity, any questions? Please feel free and stop me there. Also, you can put it in the chat. So what I'll do is I'll just push it to all the syntax here in the chat box. So this is divide. Also, we'll take a quick look about there are a lot of, I mean, actually as I mentioned, we have to cover many things. There are a lot of things we have push it, but we'll try to do it as many as we can. So let's take a matrix visual, right? This is called matrix visual. We have something called metric visual. Now here in the on the rows, right, what we'll do is in the rows we'll put year, right? In the rows we'll put year, and then in the uh, sales values is there, right? So values will put it say something total sales. Once you put that, we'll get this thing, the values. Can you able to get it? So we'll put it as one, so a little smaller and accommodative with all the other. So we are getting 22 this total sales. Let's see, we wanted to discuss on the month as well, right? So we'll put month name here in the same row. Once we do that, we'll get a kind of, so 2022 we get the month total sales and so on and so forth. So far we have reached on the total sales. Now say for example, you wanted to consider or you wanted to understand, we got to see there are different countries are there, right? We got US, UK, sorry, US, we have something called Canada, and if you go to sales territory, then can you able to see which of the countries are there. Go to sales territory and you can see this is the United States, Canada, Germany, Australia. Now you wanted to calculate say the sales of North America. How to calculate North America sales? Here we'll create a new measure. We'll try to find out how to calculate North America sales. So we'll put it as North America sales is equals to, here we'll put calculate. Now please understand, it is asking for the expression. Here we are talking about calculate syntax we're using. We already created one measure called total sales, right? We'll put it total sales, calculate total sales, and then we'll put it as year, right? We'll put it as country, the sales territory region, right? So here we'll be putting it as country. Now as you can see, expression is also already done, total sales. Now the filter is already done. Now it has to be asking for North America sales is consisting of US and Canada. So we'll be using a parameter called n parameter, right? And we'll be using in the second bracket, we'll be putting it in the inverted comma and then put comma, and in between here we have to put exactly the same name, okay? In United States. Sometimes we have to see there are a lot of spelling mistake. Canada, exact way we have to put it, right? States, I believe it is. All right. Let's see how it is coming. How many of you have reached this far? We are here. So we are here talking about North America sales. So North America sales is 9.77 mm. Here you can put the currency so that you can able to see. Okay, now we got North America sales as well. Meanwhile, I am sure many of you would be doing this. Whenever you are, getting into a date calendar, what we have created in the very beginning. Here you have to work on the date number. Sometimes it is got jumbled, right? As you have mentioned, it is a kind of use case we always see that January got jumbled, February got jumbled. So what we have to do is we have to go to here and month name and get sorted by month number. Once you do that, it will be in proper order. Now you can see March, January, February, like this way it is there. And then now you can see you can have to okay, I'll take a new visual, and here we'll create a new rows, right? So that we can get to see how we are placed. So exactly the similar way, we'll take the row year there, and we'll take the month uh, name here, and we'll put in the values again total sales, right? So let's see. As you can see, July, August, September, properly it is matched, right? Now one last measure we'll do today. I think it's already time is up, but we would like to cover lot many things. We also would have been created something called a very interesting tool called visual calendar. If you have some time, we can do it, but last those who are available for only 1 hour, for them I will conclude with one last measure, which is called total sales in 2024. How to calculate this thing? Total sales in 2024. Again, it is saying the expression is total sales, and then the calendar. Now here we have to use the date, right? Here we are asking for the year, which year we are talking about. So not this year, we have to use the calendar date, the calendar year, right? So that we can able to get that particular year. So let's find out how to create the year. As you can see, this year we have to take, and then we have to say that this year is equals to 2024. We would like to get a calculation for only 2024. How many what is the sales had happened. So let's see what is the sales had happened 2024. So 5.93. How many of you got this 5.93? Now we would like to calculate. There are many things, total YTD, and okay, last week, and before we close, I will take another 2 more minutes, and maybe I will finish this part, and then maybe um, okay, total YTD, total year to date, right? It's a very interesting syntax, and we would be using total YTD is equals to total sales, and then the calendar date. We are having the calendar date, the date function basically, and then we can get a total YTD. We'll put it in this total sales to total YTD. As you can see, it is matching exactly. How to calculate previous sales? Anyone? Previous sales. How to calculate previous sales? So we'll use a syntax called calculate, and then total sales, and then a syntax called same period last year. Okay, same period last year. Once you put the same period last year, you will get the calendar date, right? And then we have to close it, right? Same period last year. So we got it because it is already previous year, so we are not getting on the 2022, but we already got on 2023. All right. So since the time is up, we would like to continue. We would like to showcase many of this interesting, visuals, and there are a lot many, calculations. There are something called, visual calculations. This is very interesting, by the way. This is called once you click it here, you can get to see there are running sum, there are moving average, there are versus for the next, versus for the, versus previous. All these are there. Also, we can create something. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's understand from you. How many of you are having at least 10 minutes? At least 10 minutes. Give me a thumbs up. At least 10 minutes. Okay. I really respect your time. I don't wanted to, hold you back. Those of you are already in a meeting or something. I know it's a business hours. So I get around, okay, 7, 8 people are saying, okay. So I request, please stay back those, and others you can leave, because as you know, this is an ocean. 1 hour, it is very difficult to complete, but we tried my level best. I tried my level best to cover up the maximum, level what can be possible. But those who are sticking back for 10 minutes, I can complete the entire session and I can show you a few interesting things as well. Giovanni, is it okay for you? Can you, Giovanni, is it okay for you if I take 10 minutes extra? I think most of you have given yes. Then I'm
Yes,
just
yes.
going ahead.
That's okay. Yeah, Shwana, that's okay. If it's okay with the rest of the group, then you can go on. Of
Yeah, I
course.
think most of them have given a thumbs up. I'll just finish it in another 10 minutes, and then maybe uh, we can again discuss further. Okay. Now we have already created this measure called total YTD. We created something called previous year sales. Let's create few more in this particular syntax. One total. Say we haven't done something called MTD, right? We'll be doing that MTD. Let's do that MTD. How to calculate MTD? We have a simple syntax called MTD, and then the total sales. Already we have total sales. So let's get the to you reutilize. Our measure is all about you have to reutilize multiple times. You have to use reutilize, and then you have to create another further measures, right? So total MTD is equal to total sales, and then we have to put it the calendar date the same way. Whatever. So MTD will be parking it here. Let's park it here. As you can see, all our MTDs are very much visible. Okay? Month to date, basically. And then we'll be doing it one more, which is called quarter to date, right? Total QTD. The similar way, total sales, and then the calendar date. So we have something called previous sales is already done. Now, one more thing we have to do. We will be doing it something called how about previous month. We have not done previous month, right? So let's do something called previous month. Very interesting syntax. These are not very rigorous. And see, DAX is all about the simplicity. I feel this way. DAX is all about simplicity. How simple way you can create the DAX, and more important it is, right? Previous month sales, right? Previous month sales. How to calculate previous month sales? Calculate total sales similar way. Again, we are doing the similar way, and then we have to use a syntax called previous month, right? Previous month, and then the calendar. Now let's put this thing also previous month where it is. Yeah. So we have learned a lot of DAX today. We have been working on so many DAX. Now let's calculate something very interesting, as we have mentioned, something called uh, visual calculation, right? It is more on easier side. You don't have to sit and do the calculation side. By the way, if you can create any kind of visuals, the visual part is here. Today is not the session for the visuals. We have around 30 plus visuals. Also, we have something called more visuals. If you are already, if you have a license, you can, license should be here, you can able to see. So if you have a license, you can generate more visuals, and the visuals are excellent. Power BI visuals are awesome, I would say. There are different kind of visuals. All visuals are fantastic. Now what we'll do is we'll try to use this calculation called visual calculation. Let's understand how to create this one. This is those of you who are not interested in learning DAX much, those of you who are not willing to use DAX much, for them it is for them. Okay. So let's remove few of them. Previous sales not needed, we maybe quarter not needed, MTD not needed. Let's month, we can create it, we can keep it. Previous sales, let it be. Okay. And how to position your this is called the build pane. You can see here, we can change it. Say example, we have to take previous sales to next to total sales. How to do that? You right click and then talk about move up. Once you do move up, you can see here total sales is placed next to previous sales. This way you can do the positioning, right? Now let's go to this visual. Now as you can see, be very careful because sometimes it acts a little weird. Okay. If you put a mistake in the formula, it may change again. You have to start from beginning. So with that, again we have to start from very beginning. So maybe we can be a little careful, and then we will be. So if we calculate running sum, as you know, running sum is basically running total. um, so far how many continuous, say for example you start a business in 2022, and continuously how much you have accumulated, right? Let's understand how to create that calculation. Since we have already using visual calculation, visual calc, then it is super easy. We just have to put total sales. Already the formula, the syntax is ready. We just have to put the number. So as you can see, we have the running sum ready. Already running sum is up and ready. It's super easy, and it's a kind of syntax you can already use it. Now let's calculate something. Maybe you wanted to calculate something called previous. Already we have done previous, so similar way you want to do a custom previous. Let's see previous. How to calculate previous is very super easy. It is previous total sales. Once you do that, your previous sales is ready. So it is same basically. If you see previous month sales and this month sales, because sometimes people, they don't wanted to use those syntax and don't want to calculate. For them, this visual calculation is super easy. Okay. Now you wanted to create something called what is that? Versus previous. Let's create versus previous. Now here, if you can do versus previous, you don't have to use. You want to change the formula together. Then you have to use in your keyboard Shift Control L. Okay, if you change it, then it will be changed together. We'll be putting it total sales. Sorry, which has wrong, something has wrong, I think. Let's see, we start from the beginning. Total versus previous. Yeah, so we'll put it as Shift Control L. Okay, total sales. As you can see, total sales, we got it. Now what if you wanted to use or play something with the emoji, right? You wanted to play something with emoji. Let's delete few. Let's delete this previous sense because it's more or less same. Okay, let's play with something with the emoji. Enough of doing all the hard work. Let's finish it with a kind of a happy face, right? So let's calculate percentage return, right? If you're doing it something called percentage return, please be mindful on the keywords. Whenever you are saying that blue color, coming up, that means it's a keyword. So you have to put a kind of underscore before, after something. This is what. So we'll put it as emoji, right? So written with something called emoji, right? So maybe uh, with this we can end our session. So how to calculate this emoji? So again, we have used earlier in our date column if function. So if we're talking about if this particular versus previous, right? Versus previous is maybe lesser than 0. Okay, if it is lesser than equals to, lesser than equals to 0, then we can use a emoji, right? How to do that emoji? You have to put inverted comma, and between, you in your keypad you use Windows, and then put full stop or semicolon button, anything. But you have to put together, right? Not like this. You have to put together. You have to put Windows and this semicolon button together. As you can see, we have something called sad face. So if it is less than 0, it's a sad face, and if it is above, then maybe we can put it as thumbs up, right? So we have already have the thumbs up key there. Again, we have to put thumbs up. and put enter. Oops. Okay, as you have said that already, this is one thing is there. I have to be careful. Let's create quickly. So we got custom. We are using here versus sales, right? So we'll be using something called previous. Previous is equal to previous total sales. We got it total sales. Now we got it versus previous. Yeah. So we have to change it. You have to change it one at a time as well, or together also. Together, as I've already mentioned, you can use control shift and L, right? So this will give you the total versus. Then quickly, I have to remove a couple of this thing. Yeah. Now we are calculating basically something which is the emoji part, right? So if you are talking about the previous, right? So previous is less than 0, right? If your versus previous is less than 0 versus previous uh, is 0, then we are getting it one sad face. Again, the same way, sad face. But if we are fine, then we have to, we maybe get thumbs up. We'll be putting a thumbs up. And please close the parenthesis. Once you close the parenthesis, we are good. Sorry, we are good. And as you can see here, we have the thumbs up. Some sad face is also there. All right. So thank you so much, guys. I think this session is helpful for learning. Maybe if you are interested to learn in detailed workshop with us, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will be very happy. Thank you, Nageshwar. I understand that you have left because of lesser time, as I know many of you. Thank you so much for giving us time. It is a wonderful session for having you, and you become a very patient. Yeah, can you share? Yeah, of course, of course, of course. If you want this file, I will be saving it. Okay, before I close the session, please, I wanted to share with you how to save your file. Okay, this is very important. Once you have done all the hard work, you should know how to save your file as well. So here you go. I'll just start from the beginning. Here you go. Control S. If you run, it is saved at least. Then you go to save it as, and then go to browse your device wherever you wanted to park it. You can park it. Say I'm putting it in my desktop itself. So we have be putting it as the DAX 1 hour. That's what I have named it. And here I am sharing with you. Please note, this is just a beginning. It is an ocean, as I mentioned. While I'm clearing my PL 300 exam, I have seen like DAX is mainly helpful. Now I'm learning something called Fabric, Microsoft Fabric, which is also a lot of DAX have been using it. So as you have seen, we have tried to cover almost all the topic with the visual calculation. DAX query, I have used it. DAX Copilot is also a very lesson. Maybe some other day we can touch upon, right? Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your time, and you are a wonderful audience. Thank you. If you have any question, I'm open to have.
Thank you very much, Swarna. Also, thank you to everyone who participated today. I hope you've had a wonderful learning experience. And of course, if you have any questions, let us know. We You have our contact information, our email and phone number. So wish you all the best. Have a great day. And once again, thank you, Swarna, for hosting this webinar.
Anytime, Giovanni. I think you are the motivator. You have been pushing me, so that's how we got little time and host this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, and also if anyone is willing to learn Power BI with us, we have a 15-hour session. Maybe Giovanni can able to give you the brief, and maybe able to share you if you are willing to learn with us, right? As I mentioned, Power BI is an ocean.
Yes, of course. For those who are interested, ik denk dat ik het gewoon ook in het Nederlands kan doen. Voor degenen die dus echt geïnteresseerd zijn om verder te gaan met Power BI en ook voor de certificering willen gaan, kunnen we ons ook contacten. We hebben binnenkort starten we met een officiële 25-delige sessie, waarbij we dus Power BI en Excel doen. En dus je dus dan ook op zo'n manier echt data gedreven te werken gaan. Dus voor degenen die echt geïnteresseerd zijn, stuur ons een mailtje met de vragen en dan delen we de informatie met jullie op. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Giovanni, and I hope to see you in another day in another session. Best wishes.
Yes.
Signing
All
off.
right. Thank you very much. Have a great day, you all.